Okay, hi and assalamualaikum and a very good evening. Salam Kurus, apa khabar? Semua selamat datang to our weekly live chat session bersama dengan saya. And we are live now on Facebook and YouTube and akan meluangkan masa lebih kurang 1 jam for a impromptu Q&A session bersama dengan saya. And yeah, I just hope that anda semua sihat dan selamat. And semoga anda dalam keadaan yang diharapkan. All right, so now very good evening. Yeah, I am just going live. We just started the live session on Facebook and YouTube. And if you have any questions tentang anything, yeah, you can feel free to type your question dalam ruangan komen kita. And as always, on Mondays, we will meluangkan lebih kurang sejam, yeah, from 8 o'clock sampai 9 p.m. A bit early today, yeah, semangat. So we'll spend about an hour or so untuk bincangkan and menjawab sebarang pertanyaan yang anda ada. Tak semestinya soal kurangkan berat badan. If you have any other questions about anything, yeah, we can also discuss perkara di luar arena kawalan berat badan kurus kau semata-mata. Alright, let me do some housekeeping and mengalu-alukan kedatangan anda pada malam ini. And yeah, Zaim, waalaikumsalam. How are you? Nur Ashikin, waalaikumsalam as well. Let me check my audio real quick. Yeah, audio looks good. Yeah, the audio interface is behind me there just to check. I forgot to check. Yeah, Nur Farhana, waalaikumsalam. Azalina, Liza, Siti Iza, Asidik, Azlina, yeah, and Zaim Faiza as always. Yeah, you've ordered the baju that I am wearing right now, Faiza. Thank you so much. I hope that it reached you cepat. I just found out our warehouse where we store all our merchandise, buku dan sebagainya, which is run by a e-commerce fulfillment party. They have been rocked with a COVID-19 positive case dalam minggu yang lepas. So yeah, challenging for them as well. And because kurang pekerja during those times, it impacts penghantaran, but it is still operating. And a huge shout out to them for bracing the difficulties of berdepan dengan pandemic COVID-19. Yeah, so waalaikumsalam everyone. Welcome to our sesi pada malam ini. And again, we are live on YouTube and Facebook, Mondays 8 p.m. Weekly. This is, I think, sesi yang keempat, tak salah saya. Enjoyable and great to do it pada masa yang sama. So we have Facebook and YouTube. Instagram tak bisa because, again, orientation there is portrait style, and a lot of the streaming platforms, like I'm using StreamYard, they can push it to multiple platforms, but Instagram is one of those that doesn't quite play along yet. Maybe suatu hari nanti. Ya, waalaikumsalam and apa khabar semua. And let's try and answer a few questions that we have sudah. And again, if you're just joining us, feel free to comment di bawah dengan soalan anda tentang whatever it is that you would like to ask. Tak semestinya, again, soal kurangkan kawalan berat badan. Okay, let me see what we have here. We have a question here daripada Azlina Lin. Boleh advise saya kalau cycle bike dalam rumah, berapa kilometer for starting? That's a very good question, Azlina. My advice to you is jangan risau sangat tentang jarak, because jarak you cannot ukur pun because dekat rumah. So when I do senaman dalam rumah, stationary bike, all I care about is durasi jangka masa senaman. In my case, lebih kurang 40 minit. Yang kedua, I care is pemantauan kadar degupan jantung. And based on, again, kadar degupan jantung yang berkualiti and durasi masa. Everything else is sort of secondary or not keutamaan, because jarak that you capai depends a lot on gear yang you letak as well. Kalau you letak gear yang agak berat, perhaps taklah sejauh, but if you letak gear yang agak ringan pula, but tak ada rintangan yang mungkin diharapkan as well. So my advice to you, Azlina, is don't worry so much about the jarak. Focus on the duration senaman and the kadar quality degupan jantung. So even if you make it gear yang tinggi, you cannot kayuh dengan laju, but the resistance is going to make your body work harder. Or you can kurangkan the gear, make it easier to kayuh, but then you can always do it lebih cepat. Yeah? So don't worry about the distance. Okay. All right, next we have soalan daripada Zaim. Yeah, Zaim, I've been counting calories and it doesn't seem to create a desired deficit. What should I do differently? It's hard to... My advice to you, number one, is don't necessarily have to count calories, because the counting of calories can be very remeh-temeh and agak menekankan hati dan jiwa. My advice to you is to have a decent guesstimate of agak-agak jumlah pengambilan that you have, because even if you kira and it's 1826 calorie, it's not going to be correct pun, because you're going to use online references sebagai panduan. And if you Google apple punya calorie and but you have 10 apple depan you, every apple will have calorie yang berbeza. So it's not about having an exact number. It's always going to be an estimate, plus or minus 10% mungkin. So even if you estimate dapat makan 1800 calorie, there's going to be a variance of maybe 10% plus or minus that you perlu mengambil kira, and at the same time allow for a theoretical deficit yang agak munasabah, supaya it does not become something that's going to stress you out. And if you say it doesn't seem to create the desired deficit, then again, this is what I mean. You have to look at what targets that you letak untuk diri anda. The jumlah pembakaran, and then secondary would be then the diet yang disasarkan, to make sure you have a good buffer between your output and your intake. Because kalau let's say you target perbezaan 200, but you have a calorie yang ada plus or minus 10%, and you have pembakaran also mungkin ada 10% plus or minus, then there is a kebarangkalian that they will overlap because tak mendapat barrier yang cukup besar. So my advice is look at the intake, look at the output, and allow for a good buffer so that the intake tak kacau the output dan di sebaliknya. I hope that makes sense secara umumnya. All right, I'm going to try and answer some perhaps not so common question, supaya taklah every live chat dapat soalan yang sama. So again, try and come up with dengan soalan yang mungkin agak unique, and kalau boleh pendek, supaya it's easy for me to sort of browse through it and pick it if I see that it stands out for me, kan? All right, so let's see what else we have here. Soal daripada Zailina. Besides jaga pemakanan, workout apa yang berkesan untuk kempiskan perut? There is no workout really that dapat mengempiskan perut. If you lakukan senaman perut, it kerjakan otot perut. Bermasalah anda sebahagian besarnya, atau kebarangkalian besar, is masalah lemak dengan air yang meliputi your otot. So again, it does not really come down to senaman perut. Pokoknya is kawalan berat badan, which merangkumi pemakanan dan gaya hidup aktif semata-mata. So Zalina perlu terpuk dada, tanya diri, perlukah saya mengurangkan berat badan? Jika yes, then that is your the first langkah ke arah untuk cuba mengempiskan perut. But you cannot just membuang perut semata-mata. The way your body simpan bakar lemak sesuka hati dia. You have to focus on overall weight loss. supaya at the end of the day pembakaran berlaku generally from everywhere. And then once dah agak okay, but still macam buncit lain macam, you have to then mempersoalkan water retention, indigestion, bloat. It's not always lemak, could be stress juga yang sangkut paut. So my advice is tepuk dada, tengok berat badan sedia ada. If bermasalah, kurangkan berat badan melalui pemakanan dan pelbagai bentuk senaman, tak semestinya senaman yang tertentu. And then nombor 2, once berat dah okay but still buncit, then look at water retention, bloating, and stress kehidupan secara yeah, all the best to you, Zailina. You're welcome, Zaim. All right, I'm going to scroll down sikit and see what we have here. Yep, I'm looking over there. This is where my screen is. My camera is over here. So yeah. Adakah okay? Oh, it's a good question. Okay, kadar degupan yang berkualiti berapa? It's a very good question because I always say sasarkanlah kadar degupan jantung yang berkualiti. Now, pay attention really, really quick. Kadar degupan jantung yang berkualiti, and I'm going to write this down in a banner here very shortly. Yeah, your heart rate semasa senaman should be dalam lingkungan 60 to 80%. So what that means is, if katakan your age is equal to 220 minus your age, and then you take from there 60 to 80%. Yeah, give me a second just to type it up. So if my age katakan is 40 years old, yeah, my heart rate zone should be equal to 220 minus my age, which is 40, is equal to 180 beats per minute. And then from there, then 1 second, just so that you get it right. And I will recap it. So the zone, heart rate zone, very simple. Sekejap is equal to 180, 60 to 80% from 180. Is equal to 408, 108 to 144. Is that correct? 180%. 80% from 180, 64. Yeah, 144 beats per minute. Right. Boop, boop, boop. Sure. Okay. Now, this is how you kira kadar degupan jantung yang berkualiti secara rambang. Ya. Umur berapa tahun? So first thing in this case is heart rate semasa bersenam is basically 220 minus your age, and then from there you target zone 60 to 80%. Now, take it step by step. Let's say I'm 40 years old, which I am, lebih sikit, but my max heart rate in theory, because this is all theory, would be 220 minus 40. So my maximum heart rate, RPM maximum kereta aku is 180 degupan seminit. Now, if I have a heart rate monitor, which I always galakkan anda untuk melanggannya, means I don't want to push my heart rate sampailah nampak 180 because beban engine kau is very high. So what you need to do is, again, target zone yang berkualiti 60 to 80% maksima supaya ada beban, senaman jantung yang berkualiti but taklah masuk zone merah kau, which in my case would be, 180 beats per minute, 60 to 80% would be 108 to 144. So if I go jogging di mana-mana, or I do any even berbicycle tadi tu, I would make sure that my heart rate is trying to push, maybe the 140, 145 sikit. But if it goes up too high, then I recover. If it's at 110, means, I need to increase intensity sikit supaya quality pemangkin senaman tu berkualiti. And this is really adil. If you kurang cergas, you brisk walking pun dah masuk zone yang agak berintensity tinggi, but if you agak cergas or memang pelari marathon dan sebagainya, then you kena lari lebih laju untuk adanya zon senaman yang lebih kurang sama. So even if you usia 60-an, it's the same thing juga. 220 minus your age, 60 to 80%, but the range will be lower because usia makin meningkat, enjin dah tua, nak buat macam mana supaya you dapat senaman yang berkualiti walaupun di usia yang tinggi, but sentiasa mengutamakan keselamatan and tak just go zero to hero yang boleh memudaratkan kesihatan, keselamatan diri. Okay, that is basically it on heart rate training secara umumnya. Okay, let me go back to the comments. Question following up. If you go below 60%, senaman tidak berkualiti but better than nothing. Yes, very, very true. Berkualiti is a subjective thing, depends on individual. Pada bila-bila masa, the car will still bakar minyak or bakar kalori. Engine on pun tak bergerak pun still burns calories. But even you brisk walk dengan lebih laju pun will then burn more than tak berjalan dan seterusnya. So again, you kena tepuk dada, tanya diri anda what is your objectivity. Tak semestinya nak kena push 80%. So quality for me, quality for Zaim, quality for Nicole David, Azizul Awang, Lee Chong Wei has very different definitions. Hence, I always say, jangan follow anything anyone says. Don't follow anything I say. Because again, kita semua punya kehidupan, matlamat, objectivity, kebolehan, kesukaan yang tersendiri. Hence, suka hati kau. Okay, that's where the slogan really comes from. Okay. All right. Question daripada Siti Amira. Hi coach, macam mana nak weight loss tanpa kulit berlebihan? That's a very good question. And there is no guarantee. And I always use perumpamaan bersalin. If you have 100 ladies bersalin, some will have masalah kulit yang berlebihan, postnatal. Some, tak ada anything, nampak macam tak bersalin pun ada. That sebahagian besar is genetic diri, and you can bio oil dia macam mana. At the end of the day, it's not going to fix it magically. So my advice to you is, if possible, similarly to mengandung pre and postnatal, you don't want to have drastic changes in the weight where the elasticity kulit akan diuji. So even if you have rapid weight loss and the kulit tiba-tiba dilepaskan, then it's going to create a shock to the elasticity yang belum kembali. So now, when postnatal or post weight loss, kulit tu bukan tak elastik. Kulit tu kurang elastik. So you need to give it time untuk the kulit tu kembali kepada yang asal. But it's the same thing dengan bersalin. It will never quite be what it used to be. That is the price of motherhood in this case. And in weight loss wise, it's better to have some kulit berlebihan dan berdepan dengan masalah obesity secara am, but secara umumnya, melainkan you have drastic weight loss of 5, 6, 70 kilo, then perhaps you akan berdepan dengan kulit berlebihan dan mengganggu diri you. And if you do feel that the kulit berlebihan is something that bothers you, then what we recommend in our program that you can do is you can see a dermatologist untuk mendapatkan pandangan. But secondly, you still need to give it time untuk membenarkan the kulit to kembali, which will take time. Similarly, to process bersalin, which would take time juga post pregnancy. Okay, yeah, welcome to our live chat for today. Ya, soalan from Henry, berapa penurunan berat badan yang paling bagus? Now, I'm assuming you asking about kadar penurunan. There is no kadar penurunan berat badan yang paling bagus. social media tends to make it about lebih banyak, lebih cepat lagi bagus, 2-3 kilo seminggu, which is not realistic. But if you berjaya, as I always say, kurangkan 0.5 kilo sebulan, but you berjaya mengamalkannya consistently, then 0.5 kilo sebulan will become 6 kilos a year, 12 kilos in 2 years. Super amazing. Yeah, if you berjaya do it in 1 kilo sebulan, pun dah 12 kilo setahun, but tak viral lah. Yang viral always is the 2-3 kilo seminggu, but they always only talk about seminggu. Why? Because that's when the water retention dipermainkan. And whenever you hear anyone kurangkan lebih, 2, 3, 4 kilo seminggu, it's always air. Air mudah dipermainkan. Kalau anda ada kemahiran, anda juga mudah dipermainkan oleh lot of this scheme kurus cepat sekiranya you have no pemahaman. So what my advice to Henry is, you have to again tepuk dada, cek pemahaman diri, jangan tekankan diri dengan weight loss yang cepat. Take your time, make it a perjuangan sepanjang hayat. You can mencabar diri to maybe do it for, something yang agak drastic for sebulan dua, but what you do selepas di sebulan dua untuk sustainability, that is more important than the kejayaan really in the short term. Yeah, so jangan terpedaya dengan skim kurus cepat, kaya cepat, putih cepat. Social media is not that easy, and it can create a lot of unnecessary tekanan diri, which is pointless at the end of the day. Okay, make the kurus journey something yang menggembirakan. Okay, so follow-up question on the heart rate as well from Haima. My age is 35. My heart rate when I work out is 186. Tiba-tiba I pening masa workout. Kenapa aku tak know? That is really, really, really important for Haina to memahami. 186 untuk kadar dekupan jantung semasa bersenam is terlalu tinggi. Yeah, this is di mana engine you have to work really hard. RPM masuk zone merah, boleh, but the stress engine too is really high and your body doesn't like it. So your body will start to tell you to slow things down, either dengan fatigue, penat, pening, loya, muntah. If you tak berhenti juga, pingsan dan sebagainya. So you have to memantau batasan diri sendiri, especially bila you bersenam dengan orang-orang yang tidak mengenali you or yang lebih cergas, and they say go, kau pun go sampai heart rate you naik 186 dan sebagainya. But it's risky because again, macam engine kereta, if the engine RPM is too high, kebarangkalian berdepan dengan kerosakan engine is tinggi as well. And this is serious. People have cardiac arrest, yeah, people die dan sebagainya because the heart just cannot cope. So my advice to Haima is use your heart rate monitor, and I'm assuming because you have your bacaan heart rate that you know how to read it. Look back at the live chat earlier, figure out your zone senaman yang berkualiti, and the 80% typically is your ceiling. Ceiling means jangan melampaui the limit of your heart rate 80%. So even if you are younger, typically it's about 150, 160. And if you see 160, slow it down. No matter what anyone says, it is suka hati kau. It's your life. And the coach will say, cuba. And you just point to your heart rate. No, coach, my heart rate is zone yang tinggi. And your coach will just setuju dengan you je. Because the coach ni, they always feel like they have to push you. That's their job, yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to menjaga keselamatan diri more so than anything. So it's always okay to say no, to say tak nak, to say aku tak nak, because sesuka hati kau for keselamatan diri anda yang tersendiri. Okay, let me see what else I have here. Suka hati ya, suka hati. Yeah, it's a good question from Shahir. It says, betul kita kena control cortisol level untuk reduce belly fat. Cortisol level naik katanya sebab stress juga. Nah, hormones memainkan peranan yang besar dalam mengawal nafsu makan, mengawal water retention, mengawal metabolisme. Hormon dengan sendirinya cannot make you fat or cannot make you gain weight, but they can indirectly cause penambahan pengurangan berat badan or bloating by either meningkatkan again water retention, meningkatkan nafsu makan, mengurangkan metabolisme dan sebagainya. So now one of the hormones is cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and your body cannot differentiate between stress senaman, stress kerja, stress cinta, stress Facebook, stress tak ada duit, stress COVID. For your body, stress is stress. And if you are stressed, your body takut esoknya ada darurat yang memerlukan tenaga yang berlebihan, macam perang zaman-zaman dulu. So what your body will tend to do when the stress is high, hormone cortisol, which is your stress hormone, will be increased, and this hormone will store more fat in your midsection. Why? Because it's easy for the body to supply tenaga atas ke bawah sekiranya ia memerlukannya. So in a way, it's a defense response from our really amazing bodies. So hence, objektif kehidupan is not soal kurus, it's soal kegembiraan, so that you get away from benda-benda yang menekankan hati jiwa you, which is a never-ending pursuit, different story. But yes, you have to mengawal stres kehidupan secara umumnya to manage hormonal imbalances, including cortisol, and kurang tidur pun stress. Yeah, everything in life is stressful. We cannot be tanpa stress, but the goal in life seboleh-bolehnya is to menuju ke arah kegembiraan and get away from kehidupan yang stressful. But it's always going to be a balancing act. But yeah, very, very, very true, Syahir. Cortisol memainkan peranan as well. And if you Google this, you can find bentuk belly yang berbeza-beza. Bloating, beer untuk mereka yang minumnya, indigestion punya belly macam mana, stress belly macam mana bentuknya, dia lebih ke bawah, tak salah saya. So shape buncit tu tak sama. Okay, so again, hi and welcome everyone if you just joined me for my weekly live chat. We started a bit earlier today, but we'll finish, I think, just normal, just around 9 o'clock. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so a lot of cardio questions today, which is fine. From Mona Lisa. Selepas stop on treadmill for 30 or 45 minutes, memang ada rasa pening sekejap. Ke coach, tak sepatutnya, melainkan you have high blood pressure dan sebagainya, or you have an issue with elevations of, but generally no, melainkan you push it too far pada masa yang sama juga. And if you do feel pening kepala selepas you go on your treadmill, you need to look at how you berlari, makan ke tak sebelum, how much you drink semasa berlari as well. There are many factors yang you have to consider that could be a culprit dalam memeningkan kepala you as well, termasuk pemantauan kadar dekupan jantung, but it is not normal. Yeah, but you also can compare it, Mona Lisa, nice name, dengan mungkin larian outdoor or non-treadmill, if that makes a difference, assuming the other factors semuanya sama. Okay, let me see what we have here. La 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 la. Maria, coach, how to avoid or reduce stretch marks without cosmetic product? I don't think you can eliminate the stretch marks, but you can reduce it. Now, we have two kits. Bio oil, disapu, but it's still there. But over the years, the stretch marks get less apparent because again, cell replacements dan sebagainya. But it's not going to be like what it used to be. So you can reduce the stretch marks dengan things like bio oil dan sebagainya, but you're not going to be able to eliminate it 100%. For those of you yang berdepan dengannya, but I am not a skin specialist. Yeah, what you see is all el natural. Yeah, I have a very bad, or I have no real facial hygiene routine. Mungkin it's just kulit tebal lain macam. I don't even wash my face with a facial product every day, maybe once a week if I feel like it. But yeah, maybe sweat. Yeah, sweating in my case is the so-called penyelamat in terms of clearing my pores. Yeah, semasa bersenam. Okay, let me see what you have. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it helps. Zanreed. Let me see. What else do we have? Any other questions? You're welcome, Mona Lisa. No. Yeah, again, about the heart rate. Again, if you are umur 52 tahun, it's the same thing. Take 220 minus 52 or 50 if you're not mathematics yang lebih senang. And then from there, take your zone 60 and 80% untuk memantau zon senaman yang sesuai di usia yang tersendiri. But more so important as you get older. Why? Because wear and tear badan, wear and tear jantung. You don't want to overload jantung badan yang memang dah pun in your case has been working for 52 years, and always memantau keselamatan supaya tak berlakunya sesuatu yang tidak diharapkan. Okay, Zakwan Johan, whey protein sebagai meal replacement, breakfast and dinner. Now, first and foremost, whey protein is not a meal replacement. Whey protein is a supplement. To be a meal replacement, it would have to have carbohydrates, protein, and fats, which whey protein usually tak ada. Whey protein usually is just 90 plus percent just protein sahaja, because that's what you look for. Even I sendiri pun have whey protein supplements as well. Now, I would rather you have your normal breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then if you not, you can have the whey protein or protein supplement untuk supplement kekurangan pengambilan protein di antara hidangan. Because untuk menggantinya dengan lunch and dinner macam tak best. So I would rather you have a normal breakfast, lunch and dinner, but use the whey protein ke supplement ke di antara hidangan dan sebagainya. Because that usually is the time when sukar untuk mencari makanan yang berprotein dengan mudah dan cepat. So tak salah untuk mengguna a supplement. That's what it is there for. Untuk supplement kekurangan, in this case, macronutrient protein, jika ada. But if your protein take overall is cukup, then tak perlu. Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to our live chat. And if you're on Facebook, please help me to share somebody over here dengan kawan-kawan supaya they can belajar bersama as well. And if you are on YouTube, my son always reminds me to tell you to subscribe and press the lonceng supaya you are updated when there is a new video. Okay, let me see what else we have here. Wansha, only by exercising can you lose fat. Is that real or is that a myth? That is not true. You weight loss or weight gain or fat loss or fat gain is a combination of pemakanan and senaman or gaya hidup. But you can lose fat tanpa senaman dengan just pemakanan dan gaya hidup yang aktif. Ya, tak semestinya you bersenam. Manalah tahu you ada some complication yang tidak membolehkan anda untuk bersenam, you can still lose weight or lose fat. Now, if you makan dikawal dengan lifestyle yang aktif, you can kurangkan berat badan. But if you jaga makan and lifestyle active and you bersenam, then lagi bagus. But if you bersenam, bagus, but makanan ke laut, then you takkan juga ada pengurangan lemak badan. It has to be a package deal di mana pemakanan tu menyokong usaha lifestyle dan senaman, which in this case perhaps is ke arah untuk kawalan pengurangan lemak badan. Ya, you are welcome. Ya, salam isyak to you as well, Nur Hayati. Let me see. Okay, from Athira. Senaman apa yang boleh kurang lemak pada peha dan perut, coach? Now, very, very important. Senaman tidak boleh spot reduce lemak pada mana-mana bahagian. You cannot lakukan senaman perut untuk kempiskan perut or lakukan senaman peha untuk kurangkan lemak peha. If that was possible, then orang yang buat senaman perut dia cantik, yang lain semua agak berterabur menggelebih. There's no such thing, kan? So at the end of the day, how to mengurangkan lemak peha, lemak punggung dan sebagainya, you have to mengurangkan berat badan sekiranya bermasalah berat badan. And if you berat dah okay, then perhaps look at the water retention juga. But the best senaman is really total body workouts, senaman pelbagai, sukan. There is no satu senaman yang terbaik. Kepelbagaian is the best. But if you nak membentuk badan, yeah, that means badan dah agak, let's say dah agak okay, but you nak shape your body, then boleh. Because you can shape the otot, but you cannot shape the lemak. So how to shape the otot? You kena melakukan senaman yang melibatkan otot bahagian yang bermasalah. With this case is your, let's say your peha, you can do squats, lunges dan sebagainya. For your tummy, you can do pelbagai senaman perut. But it's going to then membentuk otot you, which will make it lagi vavavum yang diharapkan. But at the same time, you have to cungkil the lemak and the air supaya nampak hasil yang diharapkan. Beres. Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Ya, daripada Shazid from Facebook. Coach, berat 98. Apakah exercise yang sesuai tanpa jump? Ya, very, very important. Jangan lakukan senaman yang boleh meningkatkan risiko kecederaan, especially if you're just starting out, especially juga if you are berat yang mungkin agak berlebihan, because the physical weight on the body of jumping and landing is going to just put so much stress on your joints, lagi meningkatkan kebarangkalian kecederaan. So my advice is avoid plyometrics, senaman lompatan dan sebagainya. And if you follow a workout on YouTube ke Facebook dan sebagainya, the person who is doing the workout does not know what you can or cannot do. But they usually do, title the workout dengan no jumping dan sebagainya. But jangan follow dengan membuta juga. You always kena mempersoalkan kesesuaian senaman tersebut, A. And then B, mahirkan diri untuk meneliti quality technical untuk melaksanakan senaman. So contohnya squat. Squat is non-jumping, menggunakan beban sendiri, but majority pada permulaannya lakukan squat dengan teknik yang salah. So again, puts more stress on the joints. So my advice, if I were a beginner, 98 kilo, I would melaburkan sikit wang, maybe 100 to 300 ringgit, get a personal trainer online, one-to-one, because just for me, I want to see this guy or girl supaya dia boleh memberikan bimbingan kepada diri saya, bukan kepada ramai-ramai, supaya dia khusus and ajarkan saya senaman-senaman yang boleh saya jayakan dalam keadaan yang berat berlebihan tanpa lompatan, and fokus kepada dia transfer knowledge. Ya, dari segi teknik dan sebagainya, and biar dia memantau. Jangan just upah untuk join workout, dia buat, you follow. But you rather should manage the relationship supaya the personal trainer, jurulatih dan sebagainya teaches you ilmu that you can then apply moving forward supaya tak perlu bayar lah all the time, and dapat membantu diri sendiri dalam mengawal your journey ke arah yang mungkin in this case kurang berat badan, and at the same time dapat kuatkan kecergasan, kekuatan sendi, and then one day perhaps dan boleh melibatkan senaman yang mungkin ada lompatan yang kecil but tak semestinya. Alright, let's see what else we have here. I'm going to scroll down. If I skip your question, please do ask again supaya dia turun ke bawah, and I will try and look at it as much as I can. Let me see. I'm just going to have a look and find maybe a question yang lain sikit. Yeah, you're welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining my live. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Daripada Azurin, Coach, betul ke kalau diet pemakanan sihat ialah kena ambil breakfast? Kalau IF pula macam mana? Sebab kita control start makan from one, yeah. So, don't follow any diet dengan membuta. If you tak setuju dengan the diet, then tak payahlah buat. It's the same thing dengan Ramadan, puasa Islam, where we berpuasa from sahur sampai maghrib. It's not that you must makan breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's something that you can do. So there are so many diets in this world. Ask yourself the following question. Berapakah penduduk dunia bermasalah berat badan? Maybe it's, 30%. So that means 60+% tidak bermasalah berat badan. Bukanlah dia orang cergas unggul, but let's say they are not overweight. Daripada the 60% penduduk dunia, and if we have 6-7 billion people, that means it's at least 3 billion people in the world are agak healthy, kurang bermasalah berat badan. From these 3 billion people, berapa orang do intermittent fasting? It is a very, 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 very small amount, which does not mean IF is good or no good. That's not the point. The point is, it doesn't have to be about diet yang remeh-temeh. The pokoknya is, you must be able to makan dengan biasa, makanlah your breakfast, makanlah your dinner, and still kawal berat badan. Ramai orang get trapped into this diet yang trendy, but if you look at the bigger picture, most people don't do it. It's only a small peratus, and it's not a must do. It's okay, but every diet has kisah kejayaan. Every diet has kisah yang kurang berjaya. But what really you need to do is be able to makan dengan biasa and still kawal berat badan, which is what majority of the 60% yang tidak bermasalah do, including me. I have no special diet. My diet from January 1st sampai December 31st is lebih kurang sama. I'm always generally quite active. I generally don't eat clean. I don't eat kotor. I eat agak-agak comot. But I understand keperluan diri. But I don't follow any fancy diet dan sebagainya. Melainkan I have something that I need to do for sesi pergambaran dan sebagainya, where the objectivity changes. But pada dasarnya, diet pemakanan is just something that you should do daily. And if you enjoy your breakfast, like I do as well, you go for it. I always struggle in Ramadan because I like breakfast. And not having that breakfast in the morning, it robs my day a little bit. But it's once 1 month in a year for us as Muslims. But don't paksa diri to do something that you don't want to do. If you don't have to do it. Okay, panjang pula. Let me see what else we have here. Let me see. Trying to find question yang lain sikit. Okay, sauna. Yeah, Shakir. Salam coach, waalaikumsalam. Sauna membantu tak untuk burn body fat? Membantu is a very subjective word. Membantu can mean, I don't know, like for example, I have this mic here and I am membantu the mic right now to move this way. I am helping the mic, but it's not, what I'm trying to say is, sauna memainkan peranan as do many things dalam usaha anda untuk membakar lemak kawalan berat badan, but it is not penentu. It is not penentu anda berjaya gagal. You have to look at your pemakanan, you have to look at your lifestyle, you have to look at everything termasuk amalan sauna, but it cannot just be makan semerepek-merepeknya and then sauna membantu membakar lemak and then maka terselesainya semua masalah aku. It does not work that way. Sauna burns calories, yes. I'm sitting here right now, burn calorie also, yes. Now, sauna also helps you to membuang air, yes. Do I go to the sauna before COVID? Yes. How often? Maybe once or twice a week, because it is just an alternative senaman yang berbeza to help you detoxify, berpeluh, clear the pores dan sebagainya. I find it quite relaxing juga. Do I do it to burn fat? No, because it's just for me to get rid of air especially and to tingkatkan metabolisme. But jangan terperangkap dengan this sauna 1 jam 1000 kalori dan sebagainya. It is very misleading and it is not semudah itu. Yeah, but ada banyak kelebihan sauna. There's a post on my Facebook, on my blog as well, tentang kelebihan sauna as well, but it's not keutamaannya untuk membakar lemak. Okay, Izudin, how to fix skinny fat? Skinny fat is usually the fat yang is just dekat your tummy area. That one usually is bloating, indigestion, or stress, as we discussed earlier. So my advice to Izudin, look at those 3 things: water retention, bloating, indigestion, and hormones and stress. Ya, mungkin 4-5 perkara which usually sangkut paut dengan belly yang kurus. Good luck. Okay, Jesse Mailing, yeah, joining me every week. Thank you so much for joining me, Jesse. Coach, how to best cheat on cheat day so that don't feel so guilty afterwards? Now, a cheat day should not make you feel guilty in general, because it's a day that you plan, and if you plan for a cheat day, then it should not be something that makes you feel bad. Now, let me tell you how I cheat. I cheat every day. Every day I will cheat a little bit. So if my sasaran calorie, and I don't count calories, let's say is 2,000 calories per day, I will make sure about 10, 15, 20% is makanan yang merepek. Yeah, about 200-300 calories, which could be about 1-2 pisang goreng. So I allocate benda yang merepek every day in my diet. So I tak payah kumpulkan all of these pisang goreng for one hari yang merdeka where I go crazy and I feel really bad. So I rather have little bit every day to cheat. But it's not really cheating, because it is, even the word cheating sounds so wrong, because it makes you feel like you're doing something bad, like you are cheating, but it's actually not cheating. So perhaps you want to change the word for yourself and just make it part of the plan of masukkan makanan yang menggembirakan inside your diet every day. Allocate 200 calories plus or minus with anything that you like, supaya you tak perlu tunggu hari unggul untuk lepas geram and then you feel bad afterwards. But again, it is pilihan masing-masing whether to kumpulkannya once a week or once in a while, or cheat a little bit every day. Everyone is different. I like to cheat every day, but I don't call it cheating. It's just part of my diet. My diet yang agak comot. Yeah, all the best, Mailing. Oh, Jesse. All right, let me see. Okay. Hema again. Can I replace my rice with wheat biscuit to cut my carbo? if you replace rice with a wheat biscuit, both of them are carbohydrates. Your wheat biscuit is also carbohydrates. Your rice is also carbohydrates. Now, if you replace white rice with a fibrous wheat biscuit, or wheat biscuits memang is fibrous, then okay lah, the wheat biscuit is maybe better in terms of adanya fiber to help you with cravings. Calorie wise, let's say, can be the same, but what you can also do is replace your white rice with basmati, herbaponi, or brown rice supaya you can still makan your lauk-lauk yang biasa. Because you cannot makan lauk kari ayam semua dengan wheat biscuit chicha. It doesn't really work. And the changes that you do to your diet need to be sustainable. So as much as you can replace the white rice with the wheat biscuit, I would rather you stick to your rice, makan segenggam tangan sekali makan, but perhaps tukar the white rice to a brown or herbaponi, praboil, or basmati rice, which actually makes it more practical for perhaps jangka masa yang berpanjangan. Yeah, and as Zahara mentioned, is praboiled rice better? It's not better. Now, if you have white rice, and I always use the perumpamaan of a bell curve. Yeah, if your bell curve is like this, and your white rice is on this side, and your brown rice yang kunyah sampai esok is on this side, the praboil and the basmati herbaponi is somewhere in the middle. So it's not as quote-unquote simple, refined as white rice, not as healthy as your brown rice, but it's somewhere in the middle, gives you fiber, lower GI dan sebagainya. And even in my house, we don't have brown rice. The kids cannot eat it. Only I can eat it, but we have a praboil, we have herbaponi once in a while, but we really like macam basmati as well, which is a bit lower GI juga. So again, doesn't always have to be the best. Go for something that is better than the worst, but something that you enjoy eating as well. Okay, let me see what I have here. We have Ida Kamal. Hi, Coach. Hi. Kenapa ya mudah pening and muntah every time I exercise, jogging, and cycling? Is that have anything to do with the low blood sugar? Yes. If you have low blood sugar, but you are exerting the body through exercise, your blood sugar will even decline further and leaving you pening, lalat dan sebagainya. So you need to be prihatin. I would have some kind of glucose-based drink before the exercise. I would probably have some isotonic thing as well, and so that the sugar supply ada even masa bersenam, and you need to be perhatiin to memantau same thing juga your quality degupan jantung, to not allow the intensity to go up too high where perhaps you are pushing your body beyond its kebolehan. So always listen to your body. Start with a slow, moderate workout. Always bawa bekalan air yang berglukos and isotonic. Isotonic has garam, which helps you to reduce water loss, which also again contributes to low blood pressure dan sebagainya. So high blood pressure, less garam. Low blood pressure, perhaps a bit of sodium to help masukkan and retain more fluids. Yeah, but very, very good question. Okay, let me see what else we have here. We have about 10 more minutes. Let me see. I'm going to scroll up sikit to see anything. Bagus dah berbahasa Malaysia. Yeah, I grew up in Germany. I was there for 13 years. My mom is German. My dad is from Johor, in Malay. He's Malay. But in Germany, we never spoke Malay. Never. We never spoke Malay. We never spoke English. I grew up speaking just German 100%. And I came to Malaysia as a 13-year-old, just habis sekolah rendah dekat Germany. Then my dad campakkan saya di sekolah sekolah menengah kerajaan. I was in sekolah Sri Ampang in KL, and I learned bahasa Malaysia just dengan belasa, just belasa aja cakap dengan kawan-kawan yang ada. And if you talk to my earlier friends, they will always tell you how skema my Malay was. I would say things like, saya hendak pergi kantin, kamu hendak pergi ke mana? So it's very skema, but it's okay. You learn that way. Don't be embarrassed about learning new things. Nothing to be embarrassed about. I learned so many things in life. Even now, I still learn so many things as well. And learning is a never-ending journey of life. And jangan takut, jangan malu dengan orang untuk belajar benda yang baru. And even now, even in seminars, if there's a word I don't know, I will ask the crowd, how do you say this dalam bahasa Malaysia? I didn't know how to say almond in Malay, and they told me it's badam. Now I know it's badam. And you learn. So don't know anything, angkat tangan, you ask, just like we have a live chat here today, so that I can help you untuk menjawab soalan. And I also don't know everything. And jangan takut dengan kekurangan yang ada, sahutlah ia untuk kemajuan diri. Okay, let me see what else we have. Yeah, now, I used to have my son, he has the same problem I had when I was small. I used to swallow my words. I used to talk really fast. No one can understood what I said. And I had to learn to enunciate my words by really, moving the jaw around so that I can pronounce things clearly and properly. But if you give me a sentence to read, I cannot. I cannot read it the way it is written. I have to say it the way that I can say it. So I sometimes have to rearrange the words so that I can pronounce it in a way that I can. So yeah, and I am a public speaker. I do speaking, but even I had a problem when I was younger with enunciation, swallowing my words, talking too fast, dan sebagainya. And yeah, you learn. Same thing. You got try and error. Sahut cabaran. Okay. No. Let me see what else we have. You're welcome, Jesse. Let me see. Anything else? Yeah, you're welcome, Zelina. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Shocknya kalau boleh kurus cepat. Yeah, don't worry, Athira. Kalau you kurus cepat, you shock sementara. But it's more enjoyable if the journey is berkekalan. I give you a perumpamaan of kejayaan. If you berjaya dengan cepat, you will be kecewa cepat. Because once you berjaya, you always then crave the next success and the next success, and you always try to reach a new pinnacle, a new height, a new kejayaan, and it is exhausting. I would rather you have slow and steady success that you spread out over 10, 20 years to give you energy and motivation and encouragement to kekalkannya. If you kaya cepat, kurus cepat, berjaya cepat, it creates a lot of unhappiness selepas tu because it is too cepat. And then you have so much more life to live, but then there's so much more pressure to achieve more. So even I enjoy my mediocrity of success. I don't idamkan kejayaan yang berapa yang besar, because it's going to create then a more relentless initiative to continually berjaya. So Athira, enjoy the slow burning journey of life, and day by day cari pembaharuan, kemajuan slowly, so that once you sampai di usia yang tua, it has been a nice and rewarding journey. Yeah, take your time. Semua orang nak cepat. It is stressful. And this life, 2021, this world that we're living in is always so cepat. And people forget to live in the now, which is actually quite hard. You have to just focus on sekarang because we're always reminded about what's happening tomorrow, next month, Langkawi nak buka dan sebagainya. Okay. Now, maintaining tak susah, Arman. Maintaining is easier than mengurangkan because maintenance just needs to mengawal pemakanan and senaman biar dia lebih kurang sama. The problem is bila orang berjaya, again, berjaya untuk kurus, then dia lepas tangan. They lepas tangan and then they hope to maintain, but they go from hero to zero, which makes it hard. So again, don't go from zero to hero, don't go from hero to zero, but once you dah berjaya, berjaya cergas, berjaya kawal berat badan, then my advice is that just slowly regress things, bring the diet up a little bit, untuk maintain the berat badan, but don't make drastic changes. The problem is bila people make these drastic diet changes and drastic lifestyle changes yang tak dapat dikekalkan, and when they lepas the program, then they go back to cara yang lama, and then memang sukar untuk dikekalkan, and then you bergelora berat badan semula. Okay, let me see. Yeah, you're welcome, Azwani. Let me see. Bila masa sesuai untuk exercise kalau pergi pukul 7 dah turun kerja dan dalam 6 baru sampai rumah? It's hard. It's hard if your pekerjaan controls your life. And this advice that I'm going to give you is going to sound simple because I don't know the specifics of your pekerjaan dan kehidupan. But nasihat yang saya selalu beri untuk sektor corporate, dalam seminar, untuk orang ramai, you have to control your job. And what that means is you have to manage your manager, you have to manage the HR untuk membenarkan you to take care of you. And what that means is you need to tell them that you need time untuk diri sendiri, untuk senaman supaya you terurus. When you are terurus, then mudah untuk you untuk menunaikan tanggungjawab termasuk pekerjaan. But if the job controls your life, masa especially, keluar pagi, balik malam, no time, at the end of the day, suatu hari nanti, you will have to pay the price for it because you tak dapat nak menjaga kesihatan diri. And then the cruelty of the corporate world will kick in. Because if you cannot menunaikan tanggungjawab pekerjaan, and this is going to sound a bit cruel, if you cannot menunaikan tanggungjawab pekerjaan because sakit dan sebagainya, because tak menjaga diri sendiri, you are replaceable. You are replaceable at your tempat pekerjaan because if you cannot fulfill your job, they have to let you go. So instead of letting the job control your life, and I'm going to say this very simply, you need to mengawal pekerjaan supaya you can do your job, you can do your senaman, you can take care of your family, you can be happy, cukup berehat supaya everything agak terurus. But if you tak menegakkan hak diri, which can be quite difficult, untuk menukar keadaan, then it can be quite hard. So my advice to you, Kyle, is look at your life, look at the job, sit down with your HR manager, talk to your manager ke apa, tell him or her that you need masa untuk senaman diri, kesihatan diri, maybe not every day, maybe 3 kali seminggu as a start, so that they allow you to leave on time supaya you can take care of yourself. Because if you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anything else. So you have to be selfish kadang untuk dan membantu orang lain. But without you helping diri sendiri, one day it will be hard to membantu orang lain nanti. Yeah, wishing you all the best, which it's not always that easy to change keadaan, especially if people are used to you just menerima hakikat. Suddenly you not say no pula. It can be a bit shocking to the environment, but if it serves for kebaikan moving forward, find a diplomatic way untuk menerangkannya to your work environment. Okay, let me see what we have here. Yeah, Habibah, wa alaikum salam to you. Yeah, you are welcome. Congrats on your 10 kilo weight loss since BSK in June. And your question is it normal if the heart rate in cycling is 80, but at the same time dah tercungap-cungap? That is not normal. I would highly recommend you to check your heart rate monitor. Mungkin tukar dengan jam tangan your husband ke apa ke, to see whether the bacaan lebih kurang, because I've seen this in many instances. And the other day I was at the gym with my neighbor. So my neighbor wanted to follow me for a workout. So I brought him on a workout together with me. We worked out together, and dia pun pakai heart rate monitor juga. But I can see from his face, he is pushing the limit, but his heart rate kept saying 110, 100, which is quite low for his age. So, but I can see, looking at him, you are not at 110. So he took my watch and he put it on, and it was 160, 170. So always use common sense. Don't trust technology blindly. Always look at the signs yang the body gives you, like tercungap-cungap, pening lalat, loya dan sebagainya. And use common sense to meneliti keadaan. And if the heart rate monitor is not giving you an appropriate reading, then look at a different watch maybe untuk membantu Habibah mengawal keadaan. Yeah, all the best to you, and perhaps selamat membeli belah nanti. All right. Okay, maybe I'll do two more questions real quick. One more is Arman, how to join our program, our Bukan Soal Kurus program, which you can visit. And I'm going to just type it here real quick. Bawah. Yeah, it's called Bukan Soal Kurus.com. That's surely not very, very good. The next season for Bukan Soal Kurus is going to start in January 2022. So currently there's no program that you can join. We are sort of on holiday mode right now to catch our breath and replan and everything. Our next program akan bermula in January next year. Pendaftaran bermula hujung December. But you can sign up now for updates. So at least once pendaftaran akan bermula, you will get an email and you can register yourself at bukansoalkurus.com for sebarang pengumuman nanti. Okay, last question I have here. Let me see. Okay. From Ahmad Fakri, Coach nak tanya, kalau ambil Coach Zero Sugar, okay ke untuk diet? It is suka hati kau. Now, Diet Coke has 0 calories. Memang tak berkalori. There is no sugar in Diet Coke. They don't lie to you. They may replace the sugar with artificial sweetener or other sweeteners. Different story. Is it good for your diet? No. Is it going to membinasakan your diet? Pun no. Do I drink Diet Coke? Not anymore. I used to drink it when I was perhaps in my 20s and 30s. Old already. I don't drink it anymore because it gives me bloating and bloating generally speaking. So I don't really drink any gas drinks secara right now. But it's okay. Diet is not meant to be soal kesempurnaan. It's meant to be about a balance of good choices and bad choices. I would not say bad or good has to be A, B, or C. It's going to be a balance of things supaya you can live your life as happily as can be dengan a balance pemakanan yang ada pilihan yang baik and kurang baik. And if you are prihatin tentang pengambilan calorie, then a diet coke would be preferred choice to normal coke. Some say that the artificial sweetener can actually increase your craving for sugar. That depends on the individual. But artificial sweetener in itself, which is aspartame, which you get in sugar and diet sodas especially, it's not good for your kidneys because it's artificial. And anything that's artificial entering your body has no clue what to do with it. And this is going to stress your kidney a little more to get this foreign substance out of your body. And if you are a long-term consumer of these artificial sweeteners, then it's just going to stress your kidney in the long term more so. And perhaps there's a study that said that if you are a long-term consumer of aspartame-based products, your kebarangkalian berdepan dengan kidney failure will go up because, again, you are abusing your kidney over time, not just with aspartame, but this applies to a lot of different things as well. So the key really is moderation. All right, and one more thing we have here from Rabiatul. Yeah, congrats as well on your weight loss juga. Do continue your perjuangan diri masing-masing and enjoy the journey because you are rewarding your body dengan a lot of kebaikan and positivity physically, emotionally, and mentally. Yeah, so with that, thank you so much for joining my live chat for today. Do share the workout, do share the live chat dengan kawan-kawan if you have not shared it yet. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Any soalan that you have after the live chat, you can always reach out to me via my website. And I see you guys again on Monday, 8 p.m. For our regular live chat on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, you are welcome. Muhammad Hisham. Yeah, goodbye. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Stay safe and have a great night. Bye.